What's going on, guys, and welcome to the latest episode of WrestleRant Ranks, where I, Graham Gius, and Matthews do various tier lists and rankings. And today we're going to be doing Dwayne Johnson movies in light of his offer to Cody Rhodes that we since found out about at Elimination Chamber. I'm recording this before then, but with The Rock being hot in wrestling news right now, being a hot topic amongst wrestling fans, being back in WWE, I figured our latest episode of WrestleRant Ranks would be me ranking Rock movies that I've seen. So thanks to tierlistmaker.com, Dwayne Johnson movies, including Red One and Moana 2. So this has all the latest Dwayne Johnson movies dating back to The Scorpion King, The Mummy 2, 25 years ago, whenever that came out, all the way up to Moana 2, which I did see actually. So the categories, there's actually a lot of categories. I wish there were less categories. I guess you could probably, you could delete certain rows. I didn't make this. A shout out to movie tier lists. So whoever made this list, I appreciate you. I'll include the link to the tier list in the description box. I could take away certain categories, and maybe we will. Off the bat, though, they include best, amazing, great, good, okay, meh, bad, awful, and haven't seen. I'll probably take away awful. I feel like bad and awful are kind of like the same thing, as well as good and meh. That's kind of the same thing, too. So I'll get rid of meh, and I'll get rid of awful. Because I feel like if it's in bad and the movie just makes no sense, I'll just get rid of awful. And then good and great, I'll get rid of amazing and best. What does best mean? I don't know. I'll get rid of best. Amazing, great, good, okay, bad, and haven't seen. So I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. I feel like on a letterboxed rating, if we were actually doing this, bad would be like 0 to 1 stars, okay would be 2, good would be 3, great would be 4, and amazing would be 5. So let's go with that. And also haven't seen, I'll give you a fair disclaimer here from the get-go. I haven't seen a fair amount of these movies. Probably well over half of them I have seen. But some of them were like the earlier ones I have not seen, or have not seen in a long time. I'll attempt to rank those. Like Doom, for example, starting off here, haven't seen it. That's definitely sacrilegious to say that. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, love that movie, hate that movie, whatever. I have not seen it. Planet 51, I'll tell you right off the bat, I have no idea what the fuck that even is. When that came out, what he even did in that movie, I have not seen that. Be Cool, do not know what that is. But I guess we won't do all the haven't seens right out of the gate. We'll just start from the beginning here, work our way to the end. These all came out in chronological order, so we'll start there and then move on from there. The Mummy Returns, I actually really like the Mummy movies. The third one with Brendan Fraser, I didn't see the remake they came out with like 10 years ago. I heard that wasn't good. I think that was with Tom Cruise, was it not? That was not connected to the original movies. I think that was just a full-on remake. The Mummy movies I really did like. I'm going great. They're not exactly cinema movies, but I think The Mummy's great. That was The Rock's real first acting role as the Scorpion King, which came next. The Scorpion King, I thought, was a good movie as well. That was kind of like the background of the Scorpion King character. His CGI in The Mummy Returns, he barely did anything in The Mummy Returns, to be fair. It was essentially his likeness in that movie. Scorpion King was really where he had a chance to shine as a solo star, kind of kick off his Hollywood career, acting career with that. Scorpion King, I will very likely go good. I haven't seen it recently enough. I don't remember enough about it. I know the Mummy movies to me were better. Scorpion King was like, they made other Scorpion King movies. I may have seen the second one. Those were garbage. I at least remember it being good. So we'll go good for Scorpion King. The Rundown and Walking Tall, I constantly get confused. I don't know which one I saw and which one I didn't. I watched one of them in college for the first time, the only time, about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. I think it was The Rundown, and I remember that being good. So I'm going good. Walking Tall, which I think a lot of people would consider one of his better movies, I actually have not seen. And I was not going to do my fucking homework before filming this video. Going back and watching 10 Rock movies I haven't seen, I would probably want to off myself by the end there. No offense to the Rock. No offense to Dwayne Johnson. I have no idea what this next one even is. Villainous Tales? I have no idea what the fuck that is. So that is also going in the haven't seen category. Just as a disclaimer again here, not only have I not seen a lot of the earlier movies, I've seen a lot of the later movies. So honestly, anything from the last 10 years-ish, I have probably seen him in. So when we get to like these in the second row and third row, I have a lot to say about those. Gridiron Game, haven't seen. Or I'm sorry, Game Plan I have seen. Game Plan I have seen. So we'll rank that one. Gridiron Gang I have not seen. Get Smart, I forgot that he was even in that movie. I don't remember it being great. I'm gonna go okay with that one. Game plan, I mean, it's probably trash watching it back now, but as a Disney, wasn't that a Disney movie? Like the girl from, that was basically in everything at that point, that young girl that was Rock's daughter in this movie. It was okay. I remember seeing it with my friends when I was in like middle school. I was probably a little too old for it at that point. I'll go okay on the game plan. I feel like that's also sacrilegious to say. I feel like that would probably end up in like the bad category. But I don't know if I were to watch it back now, I would say it was good or great. So I'll go okay with that one. Race to Witch Mountain, I have not seen. The Journey movie, I have also not seen. Where was that one? Journey 2. There's a lot of Rock movies I haven't seen. Snitch, I have not seen. G.I. Joe, I have not seen. The Other Guys was a good movie. I feel like I was expecting a little bit more from that one. Maybe just because I haven't seen it recently enough. Um, I'll put that in good. I'll put it below the or Scorpion King would be probably last there. I would probably go Rundown, Other Guys, and Scorpion King. The Tooth Fairy, I don't think I saw that one. If that came out in January of 2010, I was definitely too old at that point. I didn't see that shit. So I'll put that in haven't seen. The Fast movies, those anyway, funnily enough, I have not seen any of the Fast movies that he was in during that period. I've seen Fast, definitely 1 and 2, maybe 3. 4, 5, and 6 I did not see. 7, 8, and 9, and the most recent one, I saw all of those. And he made cameos in some of those. He was in, where's the other movie? F8? He was in F8? I forgot about that. Hobbs and Shaw, is that not on here? Maybe we'll get to it. I don't see Hobbs and Shaw on here, but he was in Hobbs and Shaw. Anyway, Pain and Gain, did not see that one either. Fast and Furious 6, oh my God, there's a lot of movies I have not fucking seen with him in it. I have not seen that one. Empire State, no idea what the fuck that is. I'm only going off of the Rock movies that I've seen, and none of those I have seen. I was just not really religiously watching Rock movies at that point. Hercules, I have seen. I thought Hercules was actually quite good. I'm going to put that above Rundown. That might be, I feel like Rundown's probably considered better. Hercules was good, though. I'm going to put that in the good category. Furious 7 was a good movie. I'll put that below Rundown. Let's go San Andreas. San Andreas sucked. It's a guilty pleasure of mine just because it makes absolutely no sense. And I like Alexandra Daddario, whatever her name is, in that movie. But The Rock's role in that movie and a lot of the shit, like, spoiler alert, it's about an earthquake, obviously. He goes searching for her at one point, and he thinks that she's still out here, in San Andreas, which is where the earthquake happened. And that's his daughter. He thinks that she might still be alive, even though there's a pretty high chance as he's riding around on this motorboat where it's been since flooded and all this other shit has happened. He thinks she might still be alive. I know any parent would probably think that, but it's incredibly fucking stupid, among other things about that movie. It's not a good movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me. I'll probably go bad on that because it's completely fucking stupid. I think I've probably in the past have said it was good or okay. I enjoyed it. It's enjoyable. Actually, I'll probably go okay on it, but I'll go bottom of okay. It just makes absolutely no sense. Central Intelligence, I actually really enjoyed. I thought him and Kevin Hart actually had great chemistry. That's one of the better Rock movies I've seen in the last 10 years. I thought it was genuinely funny. That kind of kicked off their dynamic duo, like in doing a lot of other movies together that they've done. This does not feature all of Rock's movies, by the way. Hobbs and Shaw is on here. Oh, and I was going to say maybe they don't have all of his movies because like Super Pets isn't on here. But it is, and I haven't seen it yet. So anyway, but yeah, I thought, Kevin Hart, Rock had great chemistry. That kind of kicked off a whole series of movies they've since done together, including Super Pets, Jumanji, among other stuff. Moana is obviously great. That's probably his best movie, to be honest with you, is Moana, the first one. I saw the second one. We'll get to that momentarily. The Fate of the Furious, that's F8. Okay, so when did that one come out? F9 was 2021. This one was what, 2017? I don't even know. When would that one have come out? When did The Fate and the Furious come out? One of them, F7, I think, came out in 2015. I saw that one. If this one came out in like 2017, then I did see it. 2019, I think, was Hobbs and Shaw. So I definitely did see. I kind of get them mixed up. But I thought F8 was great, so I'll put that there above Mummy Returns. Baywatch was definitely bad. Baywatch was one of the few Rock movies. I mean, none of the Rock's movies are classics, but like I typically enjoy most of them. Baywatch was one of them where I was looking forward to it, not just because he was in it, but also because Alexander Daddario was in it, who I really enjoyed from San Andreas when the two of them were together in that movie. That movie was just awful. I think it was supposed to be kind of based on sex appeal sort of thing, the Baywatch TV series and whatever, or the movie, whatever it was back in the day. They just couldn't find that same magic about, what that original Baywatch was, and it just wasn't really funny. I haven't seen it since. That movie sucked. The first Jumanji, honestly, is also among his best. My fucking mouse isn't working here. So we'll go Jumanji. I'll put it in okay for a second. It's going to go higher than that. I'm putting that in amazing. Honestly, this is going to be a hot take. I enjoy the first Jumanji movie that The Rock was in more than the original movie that Robin Williams is in. And that movie's a classic, and obviously it has nostalgia for a lot of people. I think Robin Williams is great. I don't know. It's definitely a different tone. That's more of a comedy, is the newer one. And the older one was kind of more unsettling and weird and whatever. I like the Rock one more. Honestly, I think that's one of his best movies. Rampage, I liked. I mean, it wasn't great. I'm going to go okay on that one. Top of okay. Just because I love the Rampage game. I used to play the Rampage game on N64 when it came out in the 90s. That was one of the first video games I remember playing. So they had the IP, and I thought the fact that they were bringing the IP to the big screen with The Rock, and it was like the perfect formula. Didn't really end up being like this amazing movie, and they never followed up with it with any other movies, probably because it bombed. But I enjoyed it for what it was, so I'll go okay on that one. Skyscraper also was not good. I enjoyed that more than Baywatch, but I'll put it above Baywatch in the bad category. Skyscraper was just a poor man's Die Hard. It was a poor man's Die Hard. And again, a lot like San Andreas, just made absolutely no sense. And there were parts of it I liked. Like, I didn't leave that movie thinking, man, that was just the worst movie I've ever seen. But it certainly was not great. I left there thinking this kind of sucked. So I'll put that on that one. Fighting with My Family was the biopic on Paige's family that The Rock was involved in. Obviously, he was in the movie. Not so much. He made the movie, but he also had to be in it too. But he wasn't really in it. I actually really liked Fighting with My Family. I thought that was a great movie. I'm going to put that above Central Intelligence. I feel like I would recommend Fighting, maybe just the wrestling bias in me, but I would recommend that before the other ones that I put in that category. I thought the cast did well. Not everything about Paige's story was historically accurate, but the fact that it even got to theaters and it did well, there's a lot of people I know that are not wrestling fans, and still watched that movie and reached out to me to say, hey, I thought of you when I saw this movie because I enjoyed it for what it was. And they were curious about Paige's story after seeing that movie. So I'd put that in the great category. Hobbs and Shaw, I'm going to go, I saw it when it came out. I have not seen it since. I'll probably put Hobbs and Shaw at the bottom of good. Let's put it at the bottom of good, because honestly, I don't remember enough about it to say whether it was... It definitely was not bad and it was not great. So it's either good or okay. I'll put it at the bottom of good because I remember more about Scorpion King. Hobbs and Shaw was fine. It was a fine spinoff with Jason Statham and Dwayne, obviously, but I can't remember. I don't remember enough about it to say it was amazing. Jumanji 2, the first one was a lot better. The second one was okay. I just feel like it wasn't great. I mean, you know what, actually, the first Jumanji, I might even put in great, because I feel like that's not like a 5-star movie. I'll probably put Jumanji 2 at the top of okay. If not, I'll put that at the top of okay. Jumanji 1, I'll put that at the top of great. I don't want to say it's a 5-star movie or like even 4.5 because it's not. Out of 5. I feel like only Moana falls in that category for The Rock of the movies that I've seen, but I'll put Jumanji at the top of great, though. Jungle Cruise was good. I thought Jungle Cruise was good. I'll put it above Hercules. Yeah, I'll put it right in the middle. I feel like Furious 7 was better. Jungle Cruise I liked. I wasn't really nostalgic towards the ride. I hadn't even gone on the ride at that point. I rode the ride a few years after seeing this movie, actually. And it was fine. I thought he and Emily Blunt did a good job in their respective roles, and they kind of brought life to the ride, which was cool. Wasn't really a necessary movie. Kind of felt like Jumanji light, just based on the whole forest thing and whatnot. But it was enjoyable for what it was. Red Notice, I thought that was decent. I don't know what I gave that on Letterboxd. I'd have to go back and look at my rating for that movie. I didn't end up seeing it until like a year or two after it came out. I saw that a long time later. And you would think it'd be better with Ryan Reynolds and Rock being in there. You would think they'd have better chemistry. They just didn't. I'll put that in the okay category below Rampage. I think I liked Rampage more. So I'm going to put that at the middle of okay. It was fine. Like, it was a decent movie, but it was also this big Netflix blockbuster when it first came out, I think 4 years ago in late 2021. And people were not raving about it, but everyone was talking about it when it first came out. And then I saw it and I'm like, Gal Gadot doesn't really give much. Ryan Reynolds kind of plays the same character in most of his movies, and it doesn't really gel well with Rock's character. I just watched it, and I didn't have high hopes to begin with. But it wasn't like incredibly entertaining to the point where I would even put it in good. As we wind down here, Black Adam, a polarizing pick. I thought this was, honestly, like it bombed, obviously, and people will shit on Black Adam. I remember giving it like a 3. I thought it was perfectly fine for what it was. I'll put it above Scorpion King, below the other guys. I know he was playing the character where he's very stoic. It made for a boring movie at points. There's other DC movies I enjoyed a lot more than Black Adam. It was fine. Again, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't amazing by any means. By any means at all was it great. But I'll probably put it in good. I think I gave it a solid 3 stars when that came out. Last two here, these were the most recent ones. Red 1 and Moana 2. Red 1, I mean, it was good. It was definitely, it was okay. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it definitely was not great. And a lot of it just made no fucking sense. I would put it above, I think I liked Rampage more. I'm going to put it below Rampage, but above Red Notice. Because I enjoyed it. Red Notice I didn't really love. Red Notice, there were at least certain points where I kind of sort of liked it, but a lot of it just made no fucking sense. It just kind of, I don't know, when you have The Rock in there, J.K. Simmons, Chris Evans, you would think it'd be a bigger movie than it was. It made like almost no money, at least relative to the money that it took to make it. But yeah, was not great. Moana 2 I at least thought was good. Was not great by any means. The first one was a lot better, but because it's better than most of his other movies, I probably would put that in good. Did I give it 4 stars? I'm trying to think. I think I gave it 3.5 or 3. I don't know if I'd go 3. I think I gave it 3.5. But it would definitely be better than the rest of anything in good. But I think Mummy Returns is probably not as good of a movie as Moana 2. But Moana 2 is basically Moana just redone with just different songs. I like the movie for what it was, but the first one was a lot better. So I think that's my definitive ranking of the Rock movies that I've seen. As you could tell from I haven't seen a lot of Rock movies, so I probably have to go out and do my research or homework, which, like I said, I didn't want to do that before before doing this video, just because I didn't want to have to go back and watch a lot of these classics such as Doom, Planet 51, Be Cool, Walking Tall. I probably should watch that one, whatever the fuck that is. Race to Witch Mountain, Gridiron Gang, Journey 2, G.I. Joe, Snitch, The Tooth Fairy, Faster, I think that's Fast 5. I don't remember. Empire State, Fast and Furious 6, that's Fast 5. Faster, I think, is something else. No idea what that is. Pain and Gain, and DC League of Super Pets. So for my actual ranking, we have Baywatch at the very bottom of bad, then Skyscraper, and then at the bottom of okay, San Andreas, Game Plan, Get Smart, Red Notice, Red 1, did not do that on purpose, Rampage, and Jumanji 2. Bottom of good, Hobbs and Shaw, Scorpion King, Black Adam, The Other Guys, Hercules, Jungle Cruise, Furious 7, The Rundown, Moana 2. And then the greats, Mummy Returns, which is probably more of a good movie, but I'm just being biased. I love those movies a lot. Mummy Returns, Fate of the Furious, which was F8, Central Intelligence, Fighting with My Family, and Jumanji 1 that he was in. And Moana being the only movie in amazing. I wouldn't quantify any other Rock movies as being amazing. I think Moana earns that title. And even Moana, is not my favorite Disney movie by any means, but it's still a lot better than most of Rock's movies, which tells me he's probably better at doing the voice acting sort of stuff than he is doing the live action stuff. I think his days as a box office draw might be over based on his recent outings at the box office. But looking at this list again one more time, Furious 7, which came out in what? 2015, we determined. Yeah, I think I liked F8 more, the one that came out in 2017, but I feel like they were just kind of the same. So I feel like it feels wrong to put F8 in great, but F7 in good. I feel like F8 was also kind of good. Yeah, honestly, I'm going to move F8. I wouldn't put that in great. I'll probably put that in good just above F7. I feel like they're the exact same thing. I don't remember enough about each movie to kind of determine the two or decipher like which one was better than the other. So I'll just put F8 above F7. That's the only tweak I would make to this list. But let me know what your favorite Rock movies are, how you would rank them. I'll put the tier list link in the description box. Like I said, I apologize for not having seen most of these movies. Some of them are just fucking garbage. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch Journey 2 or Race to Witch Mountain, but the other ones I should probably watch. These, of the ones that I've seen, this would be my ranking. I'm curious what you guys think of Rock's movies and where you would rank certain Rock movies in the list and how it compares to mine. But if you enjoyed the show, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to subscribe. Obviously subscribe, but also subscribe to get daily notifications of daily content that we do here and be notified every single time we upload a new video and every single time we go live. And also be sure to check out the other installments of WrestleRant Ranks here on the channel in the description box down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Graham G. Matthews. Have an awesome Monday, and I'll catch your ass down the road.